Have you ever played a board game that was so close to perfection, yet there was a key part missing? You always felt like this could be the perfect game if I was the game developer for it. Ever thought about making your own board game? Perhaps, hell, you even made your own board game? If you're like me, then probably. You probably did or want to do any of the stuff I mentioned. If not, you probably didn't do any of these things because you wanted to have sex, like, ever. Well, I guess today is your lucky day, fuckers. Because we're doing all of that. Roll the intro. Okay, listen, you fuckers. Here is how it's all going to go down. I love board games. I made several board game concepts in the past, but now I want to make one for you. And about 4 fucking months ago, I put up a story where I asked you guys to submit random words in the Instagram submit thingy. And you did. So let future me explain how this will work. Out of all the eligible 27 words, I have to choose one to be the title, use all others in the explanation, and mention every word in this video. Now, there are 27 of them, so if you want to read them, pause the video, I will show them on the screen. I have to make a board game out of all of these. This video will fucking suck. Enjoy! Out of those 27, I had to pick one to be my title. And if I want this game to be good, the title has to be even better. It has to draw attention, and it has to be clickbaity, it has to be remembered. So I couldn't take a word like asparagus, or could I? Perhaps dingleberry. Dingleberry could be better. Tarnation. Wait a minute. Tarnation. Tarnation. That's it! You know how some American companies and brands use the word nation in their name, like to get closer to the people that feel the urge to be accepted? Well, what if we look at the word tarnation as a double entendre? What if Tarnation is actually a company that produces Tar, or perhaps a Tar fan club? You know, like Trap Nation, a YouTube channel, but Tar Nation? Look, Tar Nation sounded fantastic in my head, but I needed a reality check. What the fuck am I gonna do with words like promiscuous? Wait, what the fuck does promiscuous even mean anyway? Having or characterized by many transient sexual relationships. And then it hit me. There was only one thing missing in this game. And that's sex! Welcome to Tar Nation, the game of asphalt. Look, this took so long to make. I'll spare you the details, I'll spare you the 12+ hour brainstorming session. I'll just get straight into it, okay? I'll put up the word counter here. And let's go through the rulebook. An enormous tar pit mysteriously emerged at the far end of the state you live in. These record-breaking news were immediately broadcasted on all platforms and TV channels. The person that owns the land found this event rather a disaster, and is selling the tar pits at a price so low you can't even begin to imagine it. You, however, being an inner-city tar enthusiast, are aware of the value of natural tar. You know that if you manage to buy the land quickly, you will become a millionaire in a matter of months. The trick, on the other hand, is that the person that owns the land doesn't own something way smaller, a cell phone. If you want the money, you have to get to the pits without raising suspicion. Better pack quick, cause you're leaving the house before sunrise. So as you might have realized, the goal of this game is to reach the tar pits first. As a tar enthusiast, your experience in tar and tar-based products has given you the ability to utilize your skills for the first time ever. Because of the impact of the gigantic tar pit, there are smaller, puddle-like pits scattered across the board. If you step on a space with one, you get 1 tar point in your inventory. You expend tar points to build roads that shorten your journey, waterproof boats to cross rivers, etc. These are called tar actions. Each tar action costs an amount of tar points corresponding to the value of the action. Now, using tar actions is tricky because they also cost turns. The more time you spend on an action, the bigger the probability of you getting caught.
getting exposed as a tar lover is a problem, but I'll get to that later.
You're aware that you're not the only tar lover in this city. You also know that all the other tar lovers hide the fact that they are one. It's not really a thing to be proud of. Each one of you knows that you should be on the lookout for others, so you must keep this journey on the down low. You see, you cannot really travel too fast. Seeing you acting suspicious and rushing to the lands, someone could alert the landowner, who will then revoke the offer and find out their land's worth way more than they thought. That's why this board is split into segments. There are multiple divided segments on the board, with each one having a motel at the end that marks a checkpoint. To clear the checkpoint and pass on to the next segment, you must collect all the resources to pay your stay at the motel, pretending you're just a regular hitchhiker. Because of this layout, every time you roll the dice, you pick whether you want to move forward or go backwards, ultimately deciding which spaces you want to step on. But only traveling slow is not enough. Being a loner, you are paranoid that your awkward social interactions will expose your cover. And that's where sex comes in. Every time that two people step on the same space, they pretend they are just horny bystanders, desperately craving a one-night stand. It's a similar mechanic to the board game Jamaica, but instead of going to war, you have sex. What's funny is that both of you are suspicious of the other one. You can't trust anyone. That's why both of you have the option to either sabotage or help out each other's mission with fucking cards, or sex cards for short. Both participants of the intercourse have to place one sex card face down to determine their sex actions, which they either got at the start of the game or earned during its course. Anybody could be your rival. So why not sabotage them? You know, just in case. Sabotage cards include stuff like shoelace, teeth, dingleberry, mosquito lure, and so on. These all sound great, but you better sabotage wisely because they come with a price. Each time you use a sabotage card, you leave a mark on yourself that you're after the tar. If you step on the same space with the same person again, they threaten to expose you. The person that caught you has two options. They can either disembowel you, the second, not the first definition, by taking all your resources, or send you back to the previous segment. I don't know where else to use this word, so they can launch you back to the previous segment with trebuchet. Oh, also one bonus rule. Actually, my favorite rule in the game. Due to the fact that you tar lovers were constantly exposed to excessive amounts of tar fumes in the past, you have bad long-term memory. If you step out of the segment you originally had sex in, you forget all the looks of the people you did it with. So ultimately, if you sabotage them, they will not remember you if you cross to the next segment.
Mr. Simpson! The tar fumes are making me dizzy!
Yeah, they'll do that.
If you decide not to sabotage to keep your cover safe, you must help out your opponent with sabotage alternatives. By the way, opponent is a great name for your sex partner. Boost cards give minor boosts to your opponent, and there's a plethora of them, such as asparagus, doodle, popcorn, spaghetti, cannoli, condom. Well, a lot of cards have either sex or tar value. There are a lot of others that you can pick up during the game. Cards like horse and chromosome can help you tremendously while you're on this sex-filled journey. And yes, I know it's not how it works, but you try fit in chromosome in this game. Now let's get to the statuses and states. Having more and more sex raises questions, but in a positive way, sort of. If Mary has non-sabotage sex in future text, safe sex with
Jonathan
twice in the same segment, people around them assume they are in a courtship. When in a courtship, both players are immune to having sex with others. The trick is that everyone is jealous of their happiness. So both have to pay double for staying in a motel at the end of the segment. If you don't like the idea of a courtship and want to fuck, you could go in the opposite direction. If Mary has sex at least once with every player during the segment, they get the promiscuous status.
Where you want me to put it? Anywhere.
Being a walking sex symbol for that segment, people assume they can get something out of Mary, so Mary gets to stay at the next motel for free. Smaller statuses like relaxed and moist can also affect your game dramatically. For example, after having sex, both Mary and Jane are in a relaxed state. If a third person, Joe, steps on Mary's and Jane's space, Joe can rob them without being noticed. At this point, you probably can't help but wonder, how do I know I'm actually good in bed? Well, since there are two major parts of this game being tar and sex, both are influenced by your randomly appointed class. At the start of the game, each player picks a random card from the class's pile. These classes give you advantages or disadvantages on the way you fuck. Classes like solipsist improve your business skills, like tar skills and more, but lower your sex skills. While classes like milkman improve both, of course. There are a lot of classes in this game, and some of them I have to legally mention in this video, so flamboyant, rambunctious, rascal. Look, these are all important parts of the game, but Matt, how do I win? As you know, you win the game by reaching the tar pits first, beating all rivals, all obstacles, and all checkpoints. Being a really complex and detailed game with lots of versatility, you might want to think about the tactic you're entering the game with. The person that finds the perfect balance between the usage of tar and the having of sex wins the game. But in the end, it is not important if you win. It's important to have fun. Anyways, making this was extremely fun. The technicalities and everything is still in development, but considering I now own the game, I'd love to see myself publish it one day. That would be really fun, actually. So we're nearing the end of the video, you fuckers. Hopefully you enjoyed my massive monologue. And if you don't already know what in tarnation is going on in this channel, consider having sex with the subscribe button. And also, a very, very special shout out to my opponent, who brainstormed this whole game with me. That's it. I'm done. Thank you for watching till the end. Love you guys.